We're live. Thanks for joining the video if you're watching this live, or if you're watching this when it's not live. My name's Glenn, this is my channel BitGlen. You can follow me through Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, all with the name BitGlen, or you can join our Telegram group chat, which is in the description just below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to this channel if you like me. It's that simple. For every like that this video gets, I'm going to eat one Galaxy Minstrel. Oh, I haven't got one yet. Oh, I broke that rule straight away. So I got one like. Hey. So yeah, the markets are all down quite a bit at the moment. I checked my Blockfolio app, and it's the lowest it's ever been. At one point, my Blockfolio was worth 2,600. Now I think it went down to 1,200. So it's like a $1,400 swing. I was having a look at CoinMarketCap, and obviously I've sort of said before, the ones that always tend to shoot out the gate straight away if they're ever going to go up is Bitcoin Cash. Don't know why, I've got no explanation, just something I always notice. So say if this dip continues for a couple more days, generally what would happen, or this is not financial advice, this is just what I've noticed in my time watching the markets. If there was going to be an uptrend again, Bitcoin may go up. Saying that, it's still at 1100 I think at the moment, so we may not see that this time. The other one that obviously I'm keeping an eye on is EOS, or ESOS. EOS has its mainnet launch on June the... I'm getting different stories actually. I read ages ago that it was June the 1st. Then I read on Twitter the other day from something, it was June the 2nd. And today I got a message from... What up? Early live stream today at 7:30 AM here on the East Coast. Yawn. Morning, Tony. Thanks for watching me in your Wednesday morning. Yeah, I saw Exodus posted a tweet saying you have to register your EOS token. So I'm just giving a bit of friendly information if you guys are watching and you do have some EOS. If you have any EOS tokens, which are currently Ethereum ERC20 tokens, if you want to receive the new, because EOS is going away from Ethereum and obviously going live on its own mainnet, its own blockchain. So it won't have ERC, it won't even support ERC20 tokens. So you're going to have to register your tokens through the EOS website, which I think you just give them your wallet address and it makes a note of that during the timestamp, and then you get obviously an equivalent. A bit like a hard fork, I suppose. But you have to go online and register. Or, from my understanding, Bitfinex and Binance, if you own your EOS tokens in one of those exchanges, they are honouring the swap. Don't take my word for that. Go and do your own research, because that's just from one thing that I read. So I'm a bit wary of it. I think I might register them myself. Only trouble is I haven't got my laptop at the minute, so it's hard doing cryptocurrency stuff on a phone. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but you start going on websites and you have to copy and paste and open links up and go from one page to another. It's quite difficult to do cryptocurrency stuff on a phone. That's my opinion. You may disagree with me. So make sure you register your ERC20 tokens. Now, in the past, from what I've seen, whenever a coin goes live with its mainnet, it doesn't tend to have a massive pump or anything, so I don't expect that to happen with EOS. One-click EOS registration in Exodus, mate. Easy peasy. I haven't got Exodus. I haven't got a laptop, so it's sort of I've only got my iPhone at the moment. 437 and Half Moon Baby Cali. I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean it's 4:30 in the morning in Half Moon Bay, California? BBL says, morning, Glenn. One click. Yeah, what time is it? I ain't gone that early, is it? It's like midday here, so it's not too early for me. Exodus wallet. Yeah, like I say, guys, I haven't actually got Exodus wallet at the moment because my laptop is water damaged, won't turn on at all. Waiting to buy a new one, then I'll download Exodus and I'll sign into my new account, or sign into my previous account. I actually printed off the private keys for all my wallets, so yes, 4:37 a.m. in Half Moon Bay, California. Thank you for that cryptic message, but I figured it out. I got that. I actually printed out my private keys on a piece of paper. A few of them I had to download my Bitcoin private Ethereum wallet, my Z Classic wallet, Exodus. I had to make sure I had the private key in that for my, what is it called? Is it my Ethereum? No. Yeah, my Ethereum wallet. Something like that. So I had to download and print the private keys for that, and also the addresses, before my laptop went away for repair. Not repair, but they're replacing it. So I've got it all on paper at the moment, so I can't really do much on my phone. I could probably log in online and copy and paste stuff, but obviously it's a risk. Then once it's on your phone, anyone could hack your number and then obviously access your notes and stuff like that, or I don't know. So I don't know yet. I'm just going to wait until I get a computer and do it that way. I'm hoping to get one though by the 1st of June. So from what I understand at the moment, EOS should be going live between June the 1st and June the 3rd. And that's when they have their mainnet launch. You can always check your Ether address on my Ether for the DApp ERC20 tokens. Yes, that's right. I've been the only thing really I've got in my Ethereum wallet is Signal token. That's the only one I'm storing in there at the minute. The rest is all pretty much on Binance. I can access Binance from my phone. Again, not the best experience in the world logging in and using Binance on an iOS phone. I find it a bit fiddly. But yeah, that's where all my stuff is. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that obviously Binance just honour the swap. I need to do a bit more research into that, because if they don't, I need to send the ERC20 tokens or register them through the EOS website, and obviously so I get the new. Otherwise, you'll lose out. When the, what am I trying to say? Why am I finding it so hard to get my words out today? When EOS goes live, obviously the tokens will be EOS tokens or coins, if you like. I don't know what they're actually calling it, EOS coin or something, but if you don't register your ERC20 tokens of EOS, then you won't get the new token. So you will literally lose out. And I don't know what's going to happen with the ERC20 tokens, whether they'll just be worth 0, and then obviously we'll see how much the EOS is worth. It'll be interesting to see. It's a bit, I think that some people are not going to realise that you have to register the tokens, and they're going to realise actually that their coins are now worthless. Or I don't know. I don't know if they'll be able to use it for anything else. And they're going to be probably pissed off. And they'll probably think or say that EOS is a scam or something like that. But, they have been stating this for a while. And if you follow anything on Twitter to do with EOS, they all seem to be commenting like, you need to register your tokens, So they're trying to get the word out there, to be fair to them. It's not like they're just springing it on us. They've announced it absolutely ages ago, like when it first started a year ago. So yeah, that's something to just be careful of. I haven't registered mine. Like I say, I store it in Binance, and Binance, from what I've read, are going to honour the swap for the new EOS coin. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, they'll just do it. I have a fairly decent feeling about Binance, that they're trustworthy enough to do that. But what's interesting to me is obviously what EOS could be potentially worth. So obviously we have this Ethereum killer, if you like, and Ethereum's currently, even in its lowest value of $700. I believe that really it's worth about $1,000, or it should be. So therefore, you've got this Ethereum killer, which apparently is going to be smoother, faster, can perform like thousands more transactions per second over Ethereum. You're going to be able to operate games and social media running off the blockchain, which obviously we haven't been able to do before. The only other people that have been able to do it are Steemit. They're running a social media and a video DTube off a blockchain, which Steemit, the creator of Steemit, is creating EOS. So that stands good stead, and they're saying that they might be able to move Steemit over to the EOS, and Steemit's got the highest transaction rate at the moment. So you think of, and when I say that, you might think, what's Glenn talking about? Surely Bitcoin. But when you actually think of people using Bitcoin, like all we're doing really is converting Bitcoin to an altcoin on some exchange and then transferring it to another wallet and either holding on to it or at some point transferring it back to Bitcoin and then buying another altcoin. That's it really. That's the main uses of Bitcoin. You don't hear of people, I know there are the odd one out there that will say, oh yeah, I bought coffee with Bitcoin, but generally no one's using Bitcoin for that sort of stuff. So Steemit, on the other hand, obviously every time you use their platform, like you put a post on, or you upload a video or a picture or create a blog, anything like that, you are actually transacting with the blockchain. So therefore, if you add up all the posts that people make on Steemit, it is actually one of the highest transacted blockchains out there at the moment. BTCP is way to go now, predicted to be $200 by the end of July by John McAfee. Easy 10 times there. I've actually got some Bitcoin private. How many have I got? I think I've got 3.5 actually. It's my belief that a lot of these cryptocurrencies are going to boom. And I was just watching a video with Tom Lee actually, and this is what sort of spurred me on to make this video, because I really like Tom Lee. And he went on CNBC today, and or yesterday, so I don't know when the video was, but I saw it today. And they sort of said, oh, you got it wrong. You said consensus, everything was going up. And he, to be fair, it's fair play to him to go on a show where he must have known, right, they're going to really criticise me for predicting, that consensus was going to be really good for crypto market. And obviously we've seen since consensus the markets have just generally dipped down, which actually oddly enough I was sort of expecting after sort of about a week, 2 weeks leading up to consensus, the way that everyone was talking about it. It's my belief that the big run-up that we had before consensus, we had about 3 or 4 weeks of continuous growth leading up to consensus. I think that was the run-up. I don't think the run-up was after consensus, it was before it, because people were talking about it, predicting it. And I think that once people realised, okay, this is it now, it's, it doesn't seem to be shooting up anytime, so everyone's cashing out. So that's my thoughts of what's happened. So he went on this show, CNBC Fast Money, and, he stood there and he said, yeah, we got it wrong. We thought that it would be bigger in terms of adoption, like, you know, popularity with the consensus because of how many people went and more people were covering it and it was more newsworthy. Well, obviously we haven't seen that. So yeah, he also mentioned that there was a few other things like they expected some more sort of regulation to be announced in cryptocurrency space, but that hasn't happened yet. Also that they want to see some more custodian announcements to come out, and only a couple of them actually came out. But overall, he was saying, you know, consensus was actually really good. Like, all the key players were there, and a lot of the stuff they're saying is really exciting, and there's a lot coming in blockchain. So he was saying consensus was a success because consensus isn't organized. You know, they don't organize it thinking, yeah, let's make a pump in the market. The whole idea of consensus is a load of people to meet up and discuss the future of blockchains and new ideas on how they're going to change the world with different blockchains. So in that respect, it was a success. That was what it was designed for, and that's what it did. I'd love to go to one next year. I said that I'll do like some interviews and that with people for you guys, try and cut through the crap and just be really, you know, blunt and get the questions out there. But anyway, he was saying, you know, the consensus was pretty good, but obviously it hasn't shown in the markets. Now, another point that he makes, and I've heard him mention this before in other videos, about how Bitcoin doesn't just keep going up in price over a long period of time. He was saying if you look back over the last couple of years, Bitcoin has had its biggest rises only over 10 days. So let's say it had a massive pump in January the 10th, let's just say. I'm just making these figures days up. But then obviously it dipped back down and it was higher than it was at before, sort of thing, but only by a little bit. That would be one day. Then obviously you would have sort of up, down a little bit. And then you would have another big pump another day. And that's 2 days out of the year now. So what he's saying is that Bitcoin's done that 10 times within the course of a year. So you could hold on to Bitcoin all year long and it wouldn't go up much, but you need to be holding it on those 10 days. Otherwise you'll miss, you know, the profitability that's in Bitcoin. So that was quite interesting actually, and I can't really agree with him because I don't know that. I'm just going by what he said. From what I remember leading up to sort of December, I remember generally cryptocurrency was either up every day. There were like 2 days where it'd be up and then a day where it was red. But when it was red, it was red 1%. But then on the day when it was up like 5%. And that tend to keep happening over and over. So I don't know. I remember there being more than 10 days where it was increasing in value, but who am I to say? I'm just going by my own personal experience. He's got all the technical analysis and data in front of him, and obviously he does a really good job. I really like Tom Lee, and I think it's good that he's come out and said, yeah, actually, you know, it didn't go as well as I thought it would, because you would get a lot of people they'd either go into hiding and then they'll come out and make another prediction and then get one right, and they'll be like, see, I'm right, and everyone would forget the one that he got wrong. So I have quite a bit of respect for Tom Lee. But he was saying actually that obviously he uses this metric called the misery index, and apparently Bitcoin out of 100% it's at a misery level of 30. I think that's right. I don't know if it is percentages, but anyway, his misery index is at 30, and he was saying that's really good actually, because at the start of this year it was at 18, and now it's up to 30. So people are feeling better about Bitcoin now than they were sort of January, February time. So that's good news. Obviously, he was saying for it to start a bull run, I think there would need to be at 40. So we're only 10 away on his misery index to signal that there's positivity going forward. Time to go to work this morning. Cheers. All right, BBL, have a good day at work, mate. I'll chat to you later, hopefully. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see that progress. But anyway, the reason I brought up EOS is that he said Bitcoin actually is the worst performing out of all the, because they follow, I think he said like 10 or 15 cryptocurrencies, and he said Bitcoin's actually the worst performing one. So Bitcoin being at 30, he was saying the one that's performing the best at the minute is EOS. So there's obviously a lot of love, or like a lot of people liking EOS at the moment. Some of you guys in the group chat have been telling me to get on EOS for absolutely ages. I just didn't even think to, I didn't even bother with it until I actually started doing my crypto top 100. And once I actually looked into the business model, the white paper, read a bit about it, watched some YouTube videos about it, I was actually quite excited about it. I was thinking, oh, this seems like a really good blockchain. So therefore, obviously, we're in a dip at the moment. Does that mean that when this mainnet goes live, and once we start seeing some development for it, so people actually developing on EOS, and if there's a clear cut, right, okay, this is a big competitor to Ethereum, we're going to start seeing developers either do two things. They're going to create their platform on EOS and Ethereum, or one or the other, which I assume would be the latter. So let's say they create it on EOS over Ethereum. Over time, you're going to have, 1,000 projects on Ethereum and say 200-300 on EOS, whereas at the moment it's like 99% all on Ethereum, and you get the odd one or two on Neo, from what I've seen. And I think there's one on Anthology or something like that. Do you know what I mean? There's not a lot. So it's all well and good having these blockchains that are like amazing, but if no one's developing anything on them, then you haven't really got anything to go by. So I think we're going to see either EOS be really popular, or it'll just spur Ethereum onto him, update their way of doing things to match EOS, and obviously everyone will just stick with Ethereum anyway, because that's the one everyone knows and loves at the minute. But yeah, it's an interesting space, interesting time to be in cryptocurrency. So who do you think will win the race, Ethereum or EOS? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. What are the pros and cons for, either or? What EOS have got on their side, obviously, is time. Their ICO has been running for a year now, so they've been able to watch all the rise and falls of Ethereum and implement that into their own blockchain system, as well as obviously other ones. So if you think of Ethereum as a level 1 or version 1 of a blockchain, smart contracts blockchain, EOS, Stellar, and some of these other ones are claiming to obviously be like a level 2 or a version 2.0 of this smart contract blockchain. So that means that Ethereum needs to upgrade itself to a level 2 blockchain, if you like, whereas obviously EOS are going to come out on the back. But obviously there's a huge, what I got out of consensus is that there's a massive amount of development happening on Ethereum. Every time I watch some video about consensus, it's people going, yeah, we're doing an ERC20 token, or we're going to do this on the Ethereum blockchain, we're going to do this. And I think, God, I barely heard anyone mention Bitcoin during the consensus. All the videos I watched, at some point they all referenced Ethereum. So there's a lot of development, a lot of support for Ethereum. So any other blockchain is going to have its hands full trying to keep up. But saying that, obviously there seems to be a lot of momentum going forward with EOS. There's loads of videos on YouTube about it, which I can't say that about some of the other blockchain platforms that are out there. EOS seems to have a lot of, and obviously it overtook Litecoin, as we know, a month or so ago. So it's actually I think it's the 5th now or 6th biggest cryptocurrency, and it overtook Litecoin, and not just a little bit. It overtook it once, and then Litecoin took its place back. And I thought, oh, I wonder if this is going to happen throughout the year. But it didn't. Then EOS went ahead of Litecoin, and then it went ahead by a lot. Now, I assume that's because they're generating, I think it's 2 million new coins every single day. So every day there's 2 million more coins. Obviously, if someone just says, you know, oh, right, okay, EOS tokens are worth, I don't know, $20, and then they have to keep adding 2 million plus times 20 every day. You know, you're talking about 400 million added onto its market cap every day, every 24 hours, or something like that, every 48 hours. So I don't know if that's what's pushing it so high, but we will see when the mainnet goes live on between June the 1st and June the 3rd. Sorry, I can't be more precise. I just hate to give out the wrong date. So make sure you register your tokens if you have got EOS. I'm holding on to EOS it was about $800 worth. But that's probably worth $500 now. But I can't remember how many coins exactly I've got. I'll post it in the Telegram group chat, which you can be a part of by clicking and following through the link down below. Just download the Telegram app and click that link. And that's really it. That's what's on my mind today. That's my thoughts. So what do you guys think about, one, Ethereum versus EOS? And secondly, what do you feel about the markets obviously having this dip after consensus when everyone thought that it was going to be sky high straight to the moon? Did you see it coming? Did you not? How do you feel? Have you lost lots of money out on it? I feel like I should have, you know, cashed out. I should have converted all my coins back into Bitcoin and then Bitcoin into US dollar or British pounds and just wait, because I think now, seeing what's happening now, I think that we're going to have a dip for a bit. Today is Wednesday. If it dips Thursday, Friday, we're going to have a big sell-off on the weekend as well. So potentially you're not talking about it being back up till Monday. So yeah, we'll see. I feel like even now, maybe I should... Oh no, but then I'm on my phone. I'd have to individually sell each one. Plus I can't have access. No, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to hodl. Just for the next probably couple of weeks until I get my laptop back up and running. And this is what I was saying, actually, that I'm going off on a bit of a tangent. Whether it's Ethos or someone else, once they create, you know, an easy to use platform on an iOS, Android device, that's going to smash it, because it's making me, I'm a bit put off buying and selling any cryptocurrencies using my phone. I know I can do it. I know some of you will be saying, Glenn, you can do it. Just go over to this website and just do this, just do that. But it's just fiddly. It's awkward. You're worried that you're going to make a mistake. Sometimes copy and pasting with iPhones is a bit, you know, shit. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm sure once someone cracks it, maybe it's Ethos, maybe it's not, but that is going to be a popular platform, whoever can figure it out, because cryptocurrency is supposed to be a money of the future, and at the moment the banks obviously, apart from international payments, as I found out the other day, are pretty fucking shit. Like, if my wife sent me to the shops and I said, all right, you're gonna have to transfer 50p to my account because I'm in my overdraft or because I needed to buy milk, she would send it using her app and it would be in my bank within seconds, and I could pay for it, you know, at the shop. I've done it many times. I've rung her up and said, oh, I've just realised I need a tenner, can you transfer me a tenner? She does it there, and then I go, oh, okay, thanks babe, yeah, love you, blah blah blah, and then it's in there and then I'll pay. Like, it's that quick. Now we need cryptocurrency to be even faster than that. You know, we need cryptocurrency to be like, you know, hold your thumb on it or just look at your phone and then pay for stuff. You know, what would be awesome is if someone, you know, if one of these cryptocurrencies team up with Apple Pay or Android Pay, where you just tap or double click a button and you can go beep and pay for stuff like that. That would be awesome. Because I seem to use that a lot more now. I'm actually going out a lot more often now without my wallet in my pocket at all, just because I know with most places now have contactless, and I can just go click click and it goes bing, I've paid for it. So yeah, we need cryptocurrencies to do that. At the minute, if I wanted to buy it, if I went into a shop today and they said, oh yeah, we accept, I don't know, Verge or Dogecoin or something like that, I'd have to log in to Binance and I'd have to exchange money from one to another, then send it to my pay wallet, whatever wallet it is I'm going to use to pay for it or something, or send it to them directly from the exchange. It's just a mess. You're not going to do it. No one's going to do that. So David's in the video. David is a huge EOS fan, and also we have Negated 909. He says, hey guys, big EOS fan here, all in on EOS. It has to perform once the mainnet launches. EOS catching Ethereum isn't a done deal. I quietly optimistic though in the long term. Yeah, that's right. So a lot of people will be expecting, I think anyway, in the markets for the mainnet launch to be this big pump, like a big pump time. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think, like you say, until a good few ICOs and projects start coming out on EOS using their block, and even it doesn't even have to be at ICOs, but just if some like a Facebook alternative or something come out on EOS, then yeah, that's going to really push the price up. So really, it's all about development on the EOS platform. I think that's where the pumps are going to come from, and we may see EOS be worth. I mean, if you look at Neo, which Neo haven't done much. Well, from as far as I know, they haven't done much recently. Not this year, anyway, that I can think of. At one point, I think they were worth $150, and now they're worth, I think it's $70 or something like that. But you got to think, obviously, at the moment, EOS is like worth what, $12, $13. So even if it was worth $50, you're talking about a 4 to 5 times gain. So even if it gets to the point where Neo is, that's good return where they are at the moment. Obviously, if it heads closer towards what Ethereum's worth, then you're talking like 100 times gains and stuff like that, which I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I can't see it happening. It seems like everything I touch burns. So maybe EOS will be the same. David says, I'm an EOS pro. Negate says, I'm expecting EOS to drop further towards the mainnet launch as people find the registration process confusing. Well, actually, that is a really good point. If the mainnet launch is going to be fiddly and there's going to be some bad news come out, because like I say, obviously we're talking about it, but only probably 80 to 100 people are going to watch this video. You got to think of all the tens of thousands out there that are going to own EOS tokens. They're going to wake up on June the 4th or something like that and be like, oh, my EOS tokens are worth 50 cents. Oh, what the fuck's happened there? Oh, it's a scam. It's a scam. That's probably, I would assume, what's going to happen. But they're not going to realise they have to register. And I think David's already pointed out, on only 41% of EOS are registered. 41% is more than I thought. A lot of people will lose their EOS because of missing registration. Yeah, and that's going to create, I think, bad news, bad press for EOS. So this is my point. Would it be better to just hold on to the EOS that I've got and register it and all that sort of stuff? Or would it be better to just sell it as it is now, wait for the mainnet launch, and say there is a bit, EOS token comes out and it's only worth $5, I'd be I would actually accumulate more EOS through doing that than holding on. The only way I'd lose out is if the mainnet launch happens and EOS tokens are worth like they shoot up to like $100. Then I'll be like, oh fuck, why didn't I keep the ones I got? I only paid $10 for them. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know, maybe I'll sell half or something like that, and then that way I'm covered both ways. I'll buy some more back in if it dips, and if it pumps, then I won't miss out. Don't miss the train. Choo choo, choo choo. But yeah, all right, David. So prediction here, because he's saying he's an EOS pro, and he has been very passionate about EOS. What do you think EOS is going to be worth, the actual EOS coin, on June the 4th? Let's see what David has to say about them apples. But like I say, if you want just a short-term gain without too much risk, normally Bitcoin Cash is... unfortunate to say, Bitcoin Cash, plus they've had their upgrade. They had this massive upgrade to 32 megabyte blocks from 8, and I've not heard a single thing about it. I've seen obviously Bitcoin, the Bitcoin Twitter feed, which is owned by Bitcoin Cash or Roger Ver, talk about loads. Oh, now we have 32 lanes of traffic, you know, that can go through, so payments go through really quick. But I haven't heard anyone saying, oh my god, have you seen how fast Bitcoin Cash is? I haven't heard any big stories, any big news come out about Bitcoin Cash. So I think that's it. I think that's what they've shown their cards, if you like, and that's it. Unless they start changing stuff, which then obviously goes against their whole ethos of being the original Satoshi white paper. 32 megabyte blocks is the max, as far as I'm aware, that ASIC miners and the blocks on the blockchain can handle. So that's it. if cryptocurrency becomes massive, and even if Bitcoin does like do better than all the others, it'll come to a point one day where people go, God, Bitcoin Cash is really slow, even with the 32 megabyte blocks, if enough transactions were going through. But that's it. As far as I know, that's their big, you know, ta-da, and I don't know, I haven't heard anything about it. So what do you guys think about that? Don't miss the train, says David. Negator says, there is already a block producer working on smart contracts so people can claim their EOS mainnet tokens even if they haven't registered. That'd be interesting. David said, it's hard to say. It could take a few weeks after launch that rise will begin. Short term is not predictable, but in long run it will rise. Long term it will go crazy high. We will see $100 EOS this year for sure. Bold predictions there. So both of you actually confirmed pretty much what I just said. In the short term, and I'm talking about, is it better to hold EOS today? Let's say I sign into Binance right now and I sell my EOS for whatever it's worth today. It don't matter, but I sell my EOS today. Will I be able to buy, once EOS coin is available on all the other exchanges, will I be able to log in online and buy EOS coin for the same, if not less, than what I've sold them for today? That is the question I'm asking. Obviously, that's short term. I agree with you. I do think it seems very plausible from the amount of hype and the amount of interest and the amount of development that's happening on EOS, the amount of interest that's in there. To me, it would have an inherent value of about $50 to $100. That's my prediction, and I agree with what David just said, that he said $100 this year. Maybe we'll see that, maybe we'll not. But I do feel that it should be on par with Neo. If it comes out and it's actually better than Neo, why would you use Neo? You know, why would Neo be worth $70 or $80, whatever it's worth right now? So I would imagine that we're going to see maybe Neo and Ethereum go down a little bit and EOS go up. And over the course of a year, if they keep bringing out development for it, then yeah, I think EOS is going to have a big success in the future. But the question is, we're talking about this week. Obviously, I'll do videos once EOS hits $100, but we're talking about this week and next week, I suppose. We've got a week and a half left of this month. Is it better to sell my EOS now and buy the new EOS coins once they go live and there's a bit of FUD and a bit of drama around it? Will I be able to increase my position in EOS, or is it going to pump hard as soon as it goes live? Tough one. That is a tough one. Oh, you guys are going crazy now with the chat. Short term is not predictable. Long term, it will go crazy. You will see $100 this year. Negated says, a guy has $1 million bet that EOS will go to $1,000 this year. Good to him. I have 265,000 EOS. That's $1 million bet as well now. I think $70 EOI. I assume that meant to say EOS. $1,000 is this year not possible. Maximum this year could be 400, but I think it's between $100 to $200. Yeah, the thing is, you've got to give it time. Even if it's the best blockchain you've ever fucking seen, like everyone's going, oh my god, it's amazing. If I want to create an EOS coin, I have to start development starting from June the 4th, or I assume you can start development from it now, but obviously the mainnet isn't live. You'd have to start development then. Now, let's say that takes, even if I banged out some sort of coin in 2 to 3 months, you need to, I don't know if that happens. From what I understand, it takes a good sort of 10 months to a year to start a cryptocurrency, program. So then you're talking about, this time next year, EOS, could have some really good apps and dApps coming out on it and projects being released onto the blockchain. And when they happen, people are going to go, oh, what's this EOS? Oh, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's... But saying that, we don't know, do we? We just don't know. Ethereum, this time next year, could be worth $17,000. If, obviously, EOS is considered an Ethereum... I believe that EOS is always going to be compared to Ethereum. There's always going to be these two. I don't think one's going to beat the other one. So I think their price are going to be quite reflective. So if Ethereum went up to $2,000, EOS would probably go up to $500. If you're talking about EOS going up to $1,000, you would imagine as well, for that to pump that hard, you're going to see Ethereum also at $7,000 or something like that. So I don't know. I think that's quite optimistic this year. I know $1,000 equates to 1 trillion market cap. This could happen. You sell now, you'll miss out on airdrops. That is a good point, actually. So I mentioned yesterday in my video, guys, if you're watching this, that and if you want to see more videos about me talking about different airdrops, give this video a thumbs up. We've only got 3 at the minute. I've been talking 45 minutes. Come on, guys. Come on. Smash up the likes. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not sure how it works with EOS at the minute, and also Ethos as well. I'm not sure how you receive the airdrops for them. They're saying if you just register your interest for the Ethos app, I'm talking about Ethos now, not EOS, that when the wallet goes live for iOS, which apparently is going to be soon, the people that register their interest, so if you are interested, even just slightly, it's worth registering. They only want, I think, your email address and what operating system you use and stuff like that. David says, I gave you all infos at Telegram. What might be interesting actually, David, if you create a Telegram group chat for EOS, and what I'll do is I'll link the description, I'll put the link in my description below, and I'll have 2 Telegram links, one for EOS chat and then just one for the team glen. The trouble is, obviously, when one person feels so passionate about a coin to someone else who doesn't really care about it, it seems like obviously you're either shilling it, selling it, pumping it. There's something dodgy going on. It makes people lose trust. So maybe I'll have 2 Telegram group chats, and obviously, David, you can maybe create that. And if anyone wants more information about EOS, David does seem to know a lot about EOS, a lot more than me. So you're better off talking to him than me. So maybe if we create that between ourselves, David, and let anyone join in, that would be interesting. Maybe we could get negated in there as well, and we can all discuss obviously our thoughts on things that are happening in EOS. So you probably will see more videos from me about EOS. There's no affiliate linking or marketing. I'm not trying to sell it, pump it, dump it. You know, I'm not trying anything like that. It's just that if you look at, say, where Ethereum was last year, the beginning of last year, that seems to be where EOS is now. And if you have a look to see how much obviously growth Ethereum has had, if EOS has that from now till this time next year, that's probably going to be the coin to go hold on to. Because if you look at, say, Bitcoin, obviously I always believe that Bitcoin is the future. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe Bitcoin's going to be the currency of the world. We're going to see that more so over the coming years, and we're going to see Bitcoin go from, say, $8,000 to potentially 80,000. You know, I'm just plucking figures out of thin air now, but you're talking about a 10 times gain there, whereas projects like EOS obviously is such a baby infant stage. Obviously the risks are higher, so therefore the gains are higher. So instead of it just being a 10 times gain, it could be 100 or 1,000 times gain. So it might be worth keeping a close eye on those, as opposed to Bitcoin for the more short term. And then obviously we'll see how EOS progresses long term wise. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for joining me. It's a really nice day. I'll see you guys on the next video. Obviously that worthless, so just bear that in mind, guys. And I'll see you guys on the next video. See ya.